Welcome to the dressing room with Al Arabiya. Got to start off, Coley, with that jacket's looking mint, mate.
Superb, innit?
Innit?
Superb. You know where I got this. That's why you're saying it.
Where'd you get it from?
Percival. Yeah. Listen,
Nice,
mate. Listen,
it's
I
not
got.
nice gear, innit?
Yeah,
You've
listen.
been wearing it every day since that day, ain't you?
I have. I love it. Honestly, so smooth, so smooth. So many good
nice,
comments
yeah?
about it. Yeah. Well happy with it, man. Well happy with it.
Look at what I've got on.
Yeah, but it was good. Listen, we need to talk about. We went there.
Nah, this ain't personal.
We went and we see what's his name outside, Lewis Capaldi, the singer, who's a brilliant singer, by the way.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know why this guy, who he thinks he is
I
at
couldn't
times.
believe what I was seeing.
I went, oh, there's Lewis Capaldi.
Lewis.
When the Greg brought him into the shop,
I know, yeah.
offering him clothes. What do you think? Like trying to dress.
Listen.
He was a lovely fella.
He's
lovely
he's
fella.
such a lovely guy, though, man.
Yeah. It was good.
I actually, 'cause I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
But
Oh, he's mate. I see him at Glastonbury.
you
He's
guys
amazing.
noticed him. I don't know why you lot were looking outside the shop anyway. You're supposed to be looking on the racks. Who's looking outside the shops anyway when you're in a
I
shop?
told you, midfield. I see everything.
Okay,
I see everything.
Right. Is that Lewis Capaldi? I was like, I was buzzing. And when I heard that, I was like, no way.
Yeah.
Then he turned back round and I was like, it's my opportunity, lads.
What did
I'm
you
gonna go
want to
get
know?
him in.
What you actually said to him?
I said, Lewis, Carlton Cole, how you doing? Listen, man, I've got a couple of footballers in there that want to see you.
I didn't know that. I've heard of it.
Yeah, I said, I've got a couple of footballers in, and he goes, who? And I said, it's a surprise. Yeah, and then he's come in.
I thought
He must think, who are they?
Messi, Ronaldo.
He definitely knew you were.
And then he's seen you lot and he's buzzing, innit?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a nice little, he's a lovely, down-to-earth fella. I didn't
was,
expect
man.
nothing
Really
more
nice,
or
mate.
less.
He
man.
was.
He's a
Really
great
nice
guy.
fella.
Genius. What a singer.
Oh, he's a
Unreal.
voice of an angel.
Very
And do you know
true.
what? That whole day afterwards, I was just listening to his songs.
Yeah.
Had it in the car, you know what I mean? I was like, this guy's a genius. I just met him.
He's
He's good. Very good.
Top man.
So, yeah, what we been up to, Coley? What you been doing?
What have I been doing? I've had an interesting week. I went to the game.
You rung me
Yeah.
buzzing
I went-
about your boy as well.
Yeah. I went to the game. What did I do after that? I went and met Graham Potter.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was it? I cleaned his bro. We said about that. The other
Yeah,
day.
I told him about that.
Did you? What did he say? Did you remember or not?
No, not really.
Cheers, mate.
He was just like, no, I don't know if he did, but the way he was saying it was like, oh yeah. Like he's so humble, like, because he was playing his football career down.
Yeah.
I was like, so it's like he doesn't rate himself, kind of thing.
Right.
I was like, oh, but you wasn't rating him anyway, to be honest. I wish
didn't say that.
Did you say, I wish
his
I had
manager's managerial career is a lot
said-
better than his playing career.
That's on record.
Look, Miles,
It's on record.
I was a Matt Letizia fan. You couldn't compare the two. Do you know what I mean?
Graham Potter.
You said you wanted Matt Letizia.
Yeah, I know,
boots,
yeah. Sorry.
But he was what a guy.
Yeah.
What a guy. I feel that he's going to need some time to implement what he wants, obviously. But at the same time, I look at him and I think, do you know what? He knows what he wants, and he's going to try and recruit the best for him and his style of play, and and the players have to get in line, really.
Yeah.
One other thing I love what he's doing at the moment, and he played Lewis Orford, Ollie Scholes the other day, and he's been giving the youngsters a chance. You had Caelan Casey there's injuries now, he might be starting during the weekend. So it just hopefully that just gives inspiration to the others. And you know what it is? Like when you're a club like West Ham, we're not the big Chelseas with the budget, Arsenal's with the budget, and going to Man City, obviously. West Ham have to like promote from within. So you got to get your local talent, and try and nurture them.
Yeah.
Give them a chance, and that will actually galvanise other players to say, do you know what? I'd rather go there than go to the big boys. You know what I mean? Because there's a chance I might get some minutes here, or I might actually get a chance to be a professional footballer.
Yeah.
And because we've got the loan system in place as well, so if you don't make the grade, we can get you to try and get close to the grade by going out on loan, and that's what I'm in charge of. So listen, man.
You sold it to me, Colin.
Oh, man, that's right. I'm a great talker, innit?
Yeah. But that's like...
good salesman.
Your missus tells you a great talker, doesn't she?
Yeah, that's
She says I'm talking too much.
We need to talk about
No,
it.
I like hearing you talk, mate. It's good.
Mate, so I've done a bit of self-reflection the other day.
He called
A
me
review
up.
of your performance on the
Ask
pod.
him, he'll tell you.
He called me up and he's like, I've been doing a bit of self-reflection. I think I talk too much on the podcast. I'm going to let you talk a bit more. I get a bit excitable. I said, I like seeing you excitable.
Yeah, he's
and he
there,
said
to be
his
fair.
missus has told him, you need to talk less.
Yeah, but listen-
I was like, no.
Listen,
I've got to talk more.
never ever get a review about anything you do from your wife. This is advice to any listeners. Like, if you're married and you want a fair reflection, you'll never get a fair hit from your wife. Like, she'll always pick out the negative. But my wife,
I think my missus is quite good actually. She'll
Yeah?
give me a fair reflection. She'll say, "Listen,
Yeah?
you need to do more of that."
I
Wind
can't
that
even
down.
do the dishes properly, Coley. Like, I'm getting like.
Well, I'm a chef in my house. You know what I
Mate,
mean?
you got something to say, you say it, mate. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
something to
I'll
say,
try.
say
I'll
it.
try, but
Don't start going all quiet on us now.
well, you know,
No, you made it awkward.
that's what happens.
Second guessing.
I'm a bit hot in here, by the way. Bloody hell.
It is warm, to be fair. It is warm.
What was I going to say? So, you've had. We're talking off air.
Actually, can I talk about my clubber?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go on, mate.
Oh yeah, because we're talking about Lewis
Yeah.
Well
Capaldi.
dressed, can't
Yeah,
everyone.
you-
Right, so
you
look,
are.
so basically, my mother-in-law,
Yeah.
Annie, she got me this. So I gave her this. This is from M&S actually.
Right. Okay.
And then she cut it up and made a little gilet, so it's underneath.
Oh,
a gilet.
nice.
And then this is from Fork, I think, or something like that.
Is she a seamstress or something?
Yeah,
like
she's really good with her hands, and so
Yeah.
oh man, really nice, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit of you,
Take it
innit?
off, I like that.
Yeah.
Gilet, it's
Really
nice.
happy with it.
Nice. Yeah. Very nice.
I thought I'd advertise it for us. Try and get some money in. Anyone wants to buy it, you let me know. On my Instagram.
And you just had the most Wayne Bridge thing happen to you. He's gone. You heard this?
No.
He's gone to a rage room. Now, them rage rooms you go.
Oh
you get to
yes, I
smash
saw
the
it.
place
I
up.
saw it. Your missus on Loose Women.
I don't even know she talked about it, to be honest.
Oh mate, they talked about. I saw you in the picture of a sledgehammer or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "You lot was they was filming you smashing things up." I said, "That is so Wayne."
It was her idea, though.
Really?
Yeah. It was her idea
Was
for
it
her
good?
birthday.
Would you recommend
It's good,
it?
mate. Yeah, I'd probably, if you're going to go, definitely wear shin pads.
Yeah, cool.
Because
It's shit pads.
I basically like,
You hurt yourself.
I think there's probably better ones you can go to,
Right.
or safer ones, or
Okay, so
maybe
she-
it's just me, mate. I don't
She
know.
said, as I remember, she said that you knocking is like a pub or something like
It's
that.
at
You
the
knocked
back
on.
of
She
it-
knocked
at
on
the
the.
back of it.
She knocked on the door and you was quite sure. So you're
I'm
thinking.
not going to mention names anyway, where it is, but anyway.
Yeah.
When you have to sign the waiver, it was just like they'd written something on it and you just signed underneath it. So it probably should have been a alarm bell a little bit. I don't know, but apparently they did say I was the first one to be injured in 2 years.
Really?
Pretty
How
much
did you
sums
do
me
it?
up, doesn't it? I basically had the sledgehammer, and as I'm smashing the telly, I did it twice.
Right.
It slipped off and smashed my shin.
But you didn't.
I knew I'd hit my shin, like, I thought, oh, bloody hell.
Well, you didn't know it was
And then
bleeding.
carried on, and then it was when we left, like 10, 15 minutes later, and I had white trainers on, and my missus went, your trainer's red. And I was
That
like,
much blood? Oh.
yeah, and then I had like combats on, so tight at the bottom, and as I've pulled up, it was like a pool of blood just at the bottom. My socks were like drenched, you could wring out the
Only
blood.
Bridgie will get.
And the thing is,
don't get it.
I freaked missed that. I was like, oh, I feel a little bit lightheaded.
She said that?
No, I did that. She started to panic. And she was like, oh, no, that's right. But her friend as well, Leah, who was there, they're not very good with blood, but they thought, because I was so calm about it, they were just like, the amount of blood there was. But I think it was quite deep. It wasn't massive, but where it was so deep, it just didn't stop bleeding. So I had to get home, get my leg on it and keep some pressure on it, and I just waited till I could get an appointment with a doctor who could just have a quick
Only
look.
you-
I didn't want to go to the hospital because I know it's like at the hospitals at the moment. And I have super glued my own head together
You've done that before? With
so
super glue?
With super glue.
What?
This guy.
Come on, tell me about this.
So I
Please
went
tell me
to-
about this.
I was running down, I think Parker was having one of his asthma attacks. I was running to get something, but it was pitch black and I didn't think the door was open.
Right,
So the
yeah.
door, it was a bit in.
Yeah.
And I've just smashed it on my forehead. I slit it clean. I think because it was so clean, but I went up to the hospital and I was sat there and it was going to be ages. Went, I'm going. So I
What
kind of
possessed you?
signed-
So I'm getting
Like,
super glue out.
like, maybe like go and call a doctor, one of them ones that can come around your house and do it. Or
Yeah,
hospital.
I probably
you just
would
gone
advise
straight
people
to super
do
glue.
it,
Straight to
because
super glue.
I think that's what they did in
DIY
the
cabinets,
war.
Coley.
I think it's what they did back in the war.
We ain't in the war. kid.
I thought
We got
if it was safe back then and people are still alive, then
There's private healthcare.
I just it was late.
Okay.
It was late, so
So how did you do it? You just went like that?
yeah, just put someone and held it together, and
Sorry,
Oh my God.
Yeah, but with my leg anyway. I just had to put pressure on it and then got to see a doctor in it.
Water
It was
for
more
duck's
I
back.
think I could have had stitches, but it was easier to just get butterflies, and that's probably why there's such a big scab now, because I probably should have had.
Water for duck's back. This guy is just militant.
Yes, his life's just a white knuckle. What did I do?
Stupid, maybe. What'd you get up to, geese?
What did you get out to, geese?
I watched football at Biscuits. I was at Ipswich on Tuesday night. Ipswich.
You were working.
Yeah, I was working. Ipswich and Brighton Tuesday night with Siddy. Great to see Siddy.
Yeah.
Dreadful game. Absolutely dreadful game. Forget about that. And I did Thursday night. No, Tuesday night was Chelsea. Thursday night was Ipswich. Saturday I went to Newcastle. Mate, Newcastle, Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Oh, Bournemouth was sensational. Honestly, like, because Newcastle, I think that was they've been 11 games unbeaten. I spoke to Kieran Trippier and Dan Burners, who was walking out. Lovely fellas, both of them. And I was, I said to he said, and they was like, really, really, when you speak to a player, you went, Bournemouth are the real deal. Yeah. He said that's the best side that's come to St James's.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's a
I'm
big
sure West
shout.
Ham, we beat them like this.
Yeah, but he said the way that they beat them, Cole, it was like, when they beat them so well, and I was sitting behind the dugout with the fans, and the Newcastle fans they're always great, but they were just like, accepting of it and admiring the way they was playing.
Interesting.
And they only had, I think, 12. Bournemouth have 12 first-team players fit. Rest of them on the bench were kids. It was an amazing performance.
Yeah, there was only 6 out of the 7 that had Premier League experience on the bench.
I didn't see it coming the way Newcastle been playing either, to be honest.
No, nor did I.
Didn't see it coming at all.
No, all before. Crouchy went up the day before to interview Isak.
Yeah, he said he was in that, yeah.
And he said, like, the whole thing was, is he going to... Isak never even got close to the goal. I think he had his first shot after about 86 minutes where he's hit the wall from a free kick. They just marshalled him. The young kid, the defender, the kid who was playing in Holland is now, his name eludes me. He was brilliant. 19-year-old centre half.
Oh, is it not Howson?
Howson, proper player, mate. I like him. Justin Kluivert.
Yeah, Patrick.
Hat-trick, yeah. It makes me laugh looking at him because he looks like his dad, but just like a squash.
Yeah, he
version.
does.
My dad was like,
Dad's my height, and then he's like a little shorter version.
Yeah, so he just looks like a squashed version.
He's like compact.
Yeah, he's compact, mate.
Yeah,
he's a player.
He's
a player. Should we get into it then?
Yeah.
Right?
I thought we were.
Yeah, almost. We can start off from there. We can start off with that Newcastle game.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Well, we've pretty much covered it, to be honest with you.
I just thought, like, how is that manager getting so much out of that Bournemouth team? Like, and the worst thing about it, when he first come into the helm, I was like, what are they doing? Now you're getting rid of my mate Gary O'Neill.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously, because Gary's been good. He saved him as well, and I felt it was harsh.
Yeah,
the sacking was harsh. But now you look on it, and you've seen the length of time it's taken him to get the team to where it is now. You kind of understand it now, obviously.
I know.
Because he's probably going to be one of the managers of the season.
Yeah,
because he hasn't got the resources that some of these other people have got on these other teams. So for him to have got to this part so clean and everybody admiring his football, shows you what he's actually done for Bournemouth.
That's true.
Talking of managers, there's a few strong words from one of them, weren't there?
Yeah. Ruben Amorim.
Yeah.
Ruben Amorim.
Oh.
See the lyrics from him. Wow. He said it was something along the lines of, "I can't be naive, but we could possibly be the worst Manchester United team in history." I'm thinking that's something you might say to your mates on the WhatsApp group chat after you've done the press conference.
Say it to the press.
But he's gone straight bang.
Especially after we were talking, like they might have turned a corner with their effort and that. And the game before, even at Southampton, you see Southampton, they play Southampton.
Yeah.
Who's the winger for Southampton?
He come from nowhere, didn't he?
He was on fire, wasn't
he? Poor Euro, the fullback who they signed for 60 million.
He was all over him, wasn't he? That's horrible.
Is that hard? But if you're a fullback and you've got someone and they're just at
someone
it
who's
against
that quick, I've been there. It's horrible, mate. When someone's that quick and just getting at you,
mate. It's just, I mean, I don't know. I've been called out by. I got called out quite a lot by managers, actually. You know what I mean? Like, and when you do an individual and it's specific, it's a high risk maneuver because if you know the individual, you make a judgment call. Think he needs a kick up the backside. I've had it from mainly Jose, which was at that stage in my career, and and he always got a response from me. But when you're blanket doing it to your team, I don't know when that does work. But what I would say is Manchester United, Ten Hag called his team out. Amorim's called his team out already. I think Solskjaer called his team out. Yeah. You know, the players at some point
got to look at themselves.
They've got to look at themselves. You know, it's not good enough at Manchester United.
I see it as it's the culture that needs to change over there. Something it's deeper than just the players. Even it's the culture they've always had. And as I said before, I was looking at it and I said, all right, remember the days of Roy Keane, Gary Neville, even as far as back as Paul Ince, Sir Alex Ferguson days, basically.
Yeah.
Those are the glory days.
Yeah.
And fair enough, it's gone now. Football changes, as you said on the last pod. But the history doesn't change.
Yeah.
You still have to have pride for for that badge you're wearing. And you've definitely got to give 100% every time you go on that field. And if you do come up short because of your quality, then fair enough. Yeah. Don't think because you think you're a quality player that you don't have to run as hard as the other team. And if they're working harder than you, then you've got to take a look at yourself. And that is I think the culture of that, because you're actually resting and you're actually getting paid off other people's hard work. Yeah. Because you're getting paid that money now. And yes, you have been identified as a potentially good player for the club. But that doesn't mean you don't work harder than they did from back in the day. Because that's what they used to always... Man United have always been a hard-working man's club team. Yeah. Like, they've always had that, no matter what. And the players that they had that came through the youth, they understood the values. Yeah. And that's why you say the class of 94.
92.
92.
You think maybe...
No, class, I always get it wrong. I always get something wrong. After a good conversation, I always get something wrong.
He was on fire.
I was until I said 94. I was like, I don't know why I said 94.
Do you think he could have handled it differently? Do you know what I mean? Because he's new in. Or is it just an authority thing?
One thing he's got to stop doing, though,
to them on their own a bit more, just...
Well,
you know what I mean?
He obviously... I don't think he's obviously he's not an unintelligent man. He's obviously done that for a reason. I don't think he's like gone and just been emotional. And I think it's been premeditated. And
do you know? I get what you mean. But as players, you know if you've been bad though, don't you? So you don't take it. I think you're reacting the right way if you've been bad. You just got to take it if you've been bad.
But you think that, Bridgie, right? But that's just because that's your logic and that's how you lived your life and how you played as a player and the same. But I think there is certain players out there who don't. There must have been some. Is there certain players out there? Like, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. I'm just trying to think of players who think are just so like no self-awareness on performance, or at least that's what they projected.
There's loads of players. They're all like that.
Loads of projected.
I think there's not.
But you remember?
But let's go back to.
I think as a player. You know if you've had a bad game.
You know when you've had a stinker.
Yeah, but then the front then to like at least not acknowledge it.
And still go out, be seen. Remember when we had a bad game or we've lost the game? If we was going to go out, we're ducking and diving.
Don't get caught out.
Don't get caught out. Don't get caught out. Don't get seen.
Yeah. These days you wouldn't be able to go out.
No.
Yes, we wouldn't. These guys do. They still go out after a loss. This is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, the amount of times
they go out and get seen, and that's why they're seen as not caring.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the whole problem. It's a different culture. I said the culture needs to change over there. We need to go back to the old school.
But there are probably times we did go out, but we can't get caught.
Yeah, we were so scared. We were so scared.
Yeah.
I think if you've been that bad, you're probably like, oh, mate, definitely can't go.
My missus was like, if we was going out for dinner of a night, she's like watching the game on eggshells, like open our connect passes. And
she knows dinner that night.
She would have watched me play at some point and gone, he's cancel that table. He's give it away again. Do you know what I mean?
We ain't going nowhere.
Don't even, straight slippers on when we get on.
But the culture's totally different right now. I'm not saying because we are has-beens.
Yeah.
We've done our job. We've done what we had to do.
We've had our time.
But there's something that these kids can actually learn from our days and try and implement it. And look, sometimes you just got to be quiet. Don't post nothing on social media. You don't need to post. You just lost the game. You don't have to say apology. You don't have to apologise even. You should know. Just play better next time, yeah? Do you know what I mean? Have some pride in what you're doing and what you're putting out there. Don't go on like you don't care. Because I know you are. Most of these kids, they understand it that I've got to live my life anyway. And yes, you do.
Yeah.
I can't live my life through football, but football is your main breadwinner. You're the breadwinner of the family. You have to respect it. Respect football and they'll respect you back.
Yeah.
Fans will respect you just for being a certain way.
That's philosophy right there, Gibbs.
Yeah,
that's
man.
it, mate. I like that. do you know what? Another thing, like, you know when things are going bad for your club, right? And you're losing games and all that. But then, like,
I know.
yeah, right, we've all been
I
there,
know.
right? Do you know what I mean? And like,
half my life down there.
everything that seems to be like, I saw an article in the week. There was a mouse on the pitch at Old Trafford, and it got
It was
headlines.
bouncing, it was jumping, it was so happy.
And it's like leaks in the roof. Someone's filming a leak in the roof. The
all
toilets don't
falling
work. You're like,
apart.
it's just the whole thing falling apart, you know.
And that's like, and look, and let's go back even. So now we're still talking about Man United. I've got to give credit. Obviously, I was on TalkSport earlier, or on Friday, and it was Dennis Law. Dennis Law just passed.
Yeah.
So now when you're looking at what he meant to football, not just to Manchester United, but to football in general, we've got to look at that as ex-pros, as pros, the ones that are actually in the game, and say, do you know what, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
He was a model pro. He was one. He wasn't like a Georgie Best party boy.
Yeah.
He just wanted to score goals.
Yeah.
And the amount of goals, he was like 1 in 2 for Manchester United.
In them days,
and them pitches, and them tackles,
And then balls.
Incredible.
And then
They were
balls.
heavy, mate.
Yeah.
And do you know what? When I look back at his
Mine
career,
wasn't bad enough.
Reggie, when I looked back at his career, I looked at, okay, yeah, fair enough. He scored all those goals. But then he was one of the first Brits to go abroad.
Yeah.
He went to
Torino, right?
Torino.
Yeah.
And they have him down as a legend over there.
Yeah.
So he's a trailblazer. And when you see that, and then you see what Man United are coming up with now, you just want to think, go and do your history. Don't just come and play for Manchester United and put that badge on.
Yeah.
Go and do your history. Because you know what? As much as people might think, Manchester United is a big part of football history.
Yeah.
When you're talking about the Busby Babes,
Yeah.
when you're talking about the things that's happened to that football club, it's actually inspirational when you look at the history of it. So don't be disrespecting that badge because it's more than you.
Yeah.
You know, and I want them to understand, look, Manchester United is a flagship bearer, or whatever you want to call it, for the Premier League and the English football.
Yeah.
And you've got to respect that.
Yeah.
And that's why when people say, "Oh, I love to see Man United go down," or this, that,
not
the
me.
other. I love to see it. Yeah, I hate him. But you still,
It's not hate. Hate's a very strong word.
still respect him.
Hate,
You can still respect him.
It's because they were always winning.
Yeah.
They were always winning. And what annoyed me more, because I was down south and a Southampton fan, you got Man United fans. Like, you're not even from Manchester. Come on, man, you just glory.
That was
I was that guy.
That's
I
the
was
main
that
thing.
guy.
It's the fans, not the team.
Yeah. That's probably what it is.
That's annoying. I mean, there's an outpouring of love.
You don't have to be for Man United though.
No,
Manchester, you don't.
Of course
'cause
you
can,
don't.
Mate,
Yeah.
No, but
as when you were a kid, that was your excuse.
Yeah.
You're not even from there.
I was a glory hunter in school, man.
Well,
mate, I was.
I'm not so
Those
much
kids,
striker.
those kids are. Do you know? You always.
I was like, it was the trendy thing to do, innit? So I was like, yeah, I'm back.
The ones that are,
the
the ones that aren't, though, it's their dad. No, you're supporting this team. Mate.
And then after 30,
What? You ain't going for them.
What have you done to me, man? 18 silverware,
I had no
relegation.
choice. I had no choice.
It's an outpouring of love. What's interesting me is like, obviously we lost a great player, but you know, what's about your legacy? Like, you know, like we forget as players. You know, like you might see someone, and we would all have it, and the fans come up to you and they remember something you've done, a goal you scored, or something like. Mate, it means so much to people. And like, I think the advice, if any young players had listened to this, like when you get older and you've finished and you've done with football, it's lovely when people. I remember this or I remember that, or this is how I love the way you played. You know what I mean? Like, you do have to, if you take that into your game now, and that's your responsibility, whatever you do on the pitch now will not everyone's going to be Dennis Law where he's sort of blanket. Do you know what I mean? But someone out there will connect with you that does like, I had a geezer got on the plane with me, a Newcastle fan, and he said, I think I scored my first Premier League goal for Chelsea up at Newcastle, and it was his first game he watched, and he remembered it. He went, da-da-da, and you done this and you done that, and then Shearer scored, and he's like, wow, mate, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, that's a little thing for any young players listening to this. Like,
after your career,
it is nice.
It's lovely. It's lovely, man.
Yeah.
It's a privilege. We're in a privileged position. We were in a privilege, and I'm glad that we are actually recognised, and hopefully some of the young lads that are playing in the Premier League right now will understand what they have in their hands, because it goes fast, man.
Mate, it does go
I've
fast.
got grey hair coming out now. Like, I don't know what I'm doing with myself. So you know what I mean? So look, it goes fast.
Talking about things that go fast.
Go on.
Darwin Nunez.
Oh,
Did you see that there, Giz?
oh my God, that was
Segmented
unbelievable. That was
in.
just smooth.
I don't even think this.
I was with our mate
I don't
Jamie
even think
Lawrence
the
at the time. He's a
studios can
massive
do
Liverpool
that.
fan, isn't he? He was buzzing.
Jamie Lawrence.
Yeah. He's
He
happy
was
with it.
buzzing. Oh, buzzing, mate.
Because that was a proper game Brentford put him into.
Yeah, come,
Yeah.
bro. You come to West London, bro. It's not gonna be easy for you.
Mate, listen.
We'll have you on the ropes, on the ones and twos.
The ones and twos.
Yeah. So talk to me through that game though, because it was a late call, wasn't it?
Late.
Nunez, the person probably no one's expecting because he's not been going for
yeah.
a good time at the moment.
I'll-
You know that, and I think. Listen, I like him.
Yeah.
Busy. But for Liverpool, I don't think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
enough. But I know there's sections of the crowd, probably not a lot, but they'll say, we need someone better than
The
him.
crowd love him, Coley.
Yeah,
The
because he
crowd
works
love
hard.
him. He's one of them players that, especially Liverpool punters, they know what they like.
Yeah.
They've seen great players over the years, and they've seen not so great players. Some might even say me when I was there, right?
He's a
But
great player, Geese.
not for Liverpool, I weren't.
Well-
but you know what with Darwin Nunez, I think there was an outpouring of like people love the fact he scored. I was chatting to a Scouser. He's got a great nickname, and I think it sums him up as a player.
Mickey.
Captain Chaos, Darwin Nunez. He calls his chaos,
Chaos.
doesn't he? Just like
Yeah,
crashing
yeah.
into things. Do you know? But you see, it was an endearing word from the fans, and they love that.
That sounds,
Captain
I
Chaos.
I like that. That's got a ring to it.
That's this man on a night out. That's what, I think I've even like.
Oh yeah, mate, that's gonna be your new name actually.
No, I think so. Jamie's got a name, or is he Captain Payne?
Captain Payne.
Got Captain Payne.
No, it might be Captain Chaos. I can't remember now. I've got to
Captain
figure out
Payne.
what his name is. Jamie wants his nickname because he trains a lot of kids, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So he
It's
trains
probably
a lot of
Payne.
kids and he's got a name.
With him, it's probably
Yeah, it might be.
Payne.
I can't remember what he's going to find out what it is now. I can't remember what it is.
Baby Lawrence,
but,
man.
He trains a lot of kids and he's got a name like that.
He does a lot of good things for the
Oh, he
next
does.
generation.
No,
doesn't
it's the men. He tries to drill in the mentality.
Yeah, how much you want it?
Just working on how much you want,
Yeah,
but you got to
yeah.
graft for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, his
That's
story,
what he does.
his
His
story.
story's a main
is-
story.
yeah.
I think when I was talking to him a while ago, they were trying to do a film or a documentary on it, and I think
Yeah.
he was changing over who was doing it. But it's
Right.
it's a great story. It'd be great if he can get it out.
I love the redemption stories. I think that's
Yeah.
like listen. A great quote I saw the other day. If you're in your 40s and you're thinking the same things you thought in your 20s, you've wasted 20 years
Yeah,
of your life.
definitely, yeah.
And I thought, do you know what? Because that's a brilliant thing, and I love people like Jamie who look to help the next generation. They come from
I've had a training
trial and
session with him.
tribulation.
And it made me question if I wanted to carry on playing football.
Really,
It was so hard.
really.
Like,
Captain Payne.
listen, I love that we're talking about
Yeah.
these heroes away from actual the mainstream
Yeah,
and what football. And we're talking about who does the type of work away from.
yeah.
You know, so when I look at Nunez, yeah. Hold on a minute.
No,
What am I seeing here?
He's Captain
Payne.
Payne.
Oh, called Jamie. It's Captain Payne.
Captain
Not
Payne.
Captain
Right.
Chaos. Yeah.
Captain Payne.
Oh, mate. Sorry, you came up in the pod. I'll speak to you in a bit. Yeah, mate. Right.
See, look, any rule.
I had to find out. It was
anyone was-
raining. I couldn't let it go.
We're in the middle
Anyone
of filming.
was under the illusion that we were professional.
No, that's
gone now.
All right, okay. This guy's just up.
Captain Payne is Captain Payne. It was right.
I thought he was too good at
But-
Uber Eats delivery or something.
I didn't want to interrupt your speaking. So
No,
I was
but
on
what
the
he
fly.
did was make me realise when I went and trained with Jamie, if I wanted to be a footballer anymore, because it was
Really?
I was out of club.
Right.
I was thinking, mate, I don't want to do this no
Really?
more, man. Like, and he was there, because he's an ex-pro, and I'm like, you can do it. I can't do this, Jamie. Like, and he's like, you only played Premier League last year. I was like, but obviously I don't want to do it no more. It made me doubt myself.
It took you to that place.
But do you know what? When we talk about it's like mental gymnastics with him.
Yeah.
And the thing is about it as well, when you look at people like, we'll allude to Nunez, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't. You know, when you're a striker, you're not scoring every
Yeah.
week in, week out. You have to have the mental strength and capacity to be able to go to Brentford and put on a late performance and score 2 goals to save your team from not losing points.
And by the way,
that is mental strength.
Yes.
If I've ever
I
seen
think
it.
that's what I try and tell the kids as well. Like,
Yeah.
you make a mistake or you have a shot, and it's like,
Yeah.
don't worry, just get on the next one. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mental side of you. Just keep going. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
You was, you know, I think you was exceptional at that. You know, being mentally strong in football.
No, mate, we all are.
Yeah, but no, but-
you did. We
Yeah,
all are.
some stuck out more than others though. Like,
Yeah.
because I remember if the manager like battered me, I'd have a little sulk up for a bit, and that would affect my football.
Yeah.
If I felt underappreciated,
I would struggle with
but
that.
there's some people that don't need to feel appreciated and just
then
turn out performances. And I'm like, I'm not like that. I need a little arm around me. And if you get that, you're gonna get the best out of me.
Yeah, I struggled with that with Mourinho when he just took me off at half time and never spoke to me. Like mentally, I struggled with that. I could have done with someone like a bit like I told when we talked about Rashford, someone coming to you, and that's just not.
Yeah,
whether it's not mature enough or just thinking the wrong way, like. The brain's it's a tough thing, isn't it? You need someone sometimes to just tell you, because you're making something that isn't something maybe.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's training your brain to break it down and what does this really mean?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And react in a certain way.
Yeah.
Don't react too quick.
Let it rest.
You know,
I've got a good story.
You
about
had
that.
you got that Mourinho treatment.
Yeah, I got
You and Sean.
Yeah, me and Sean. This is you
for
might
me,
have
that
been
was harsh.
you might have even been in playing.
I was there, mate.
You was at the game.
Yeah, I was
You might have played. Interesting. Talk about characters.
He's great, by the way. He's a good manager. I think he's a great guy.
Oh, yeah,
Absolute
he is.
club, by the way. Yeah.
Of course he is.
But talk about that interesting thing. How me and Shawnee, same position, similar players. You know. Same age, you know, but everything about and how we two footballers react differently to that. So we play in Fulham away. We start in 23 minutes in or something, 24 minutes in, and we both look over. Our names come up. We're hooked off for Robin and Duff, I think, you know, and like weren't playing well, but weren't playing bad. Just weren't getting into the game. And then
the whole team.
The whole team
was my
the whole team. And then so this is how. So we both heads up, right? I've walked past him. I had to walk past him. I've blanked him. Like, I don't want to speak to him. My see my face. I'm like trying to keep the emotion in, and I don't even think I realised he took Righty off as well.
Oh,
I've gone. Right. I'm going straight down to the tunnel. Right. I've got into the tunnel at Fulham, and Mick Roberts was there, the kit man, and he's there, and it's a tiny tunnel, a tiny dressing room, and I've gone in. And I still don't, for this time, I don't think I knew Righty was off. I don't know
what was going on.
And I'm just like, I'm just smashed. I smashed the changing room up. You know what I mean? Like I did. The massage bed went into the wall.
Mate, we're going to need that for later on.
Yeah. I'm kicking it. I'm like that. Bang! I'm smashing the place up. I'm screaming like just Bridges' rage room.
Basically, with his hands and feet. I'm thinking, no sledgehammer.
I'm thinking it's because it took all my mental strength not to do something in the people. You know, I'm like, because you're not thinking right. And then I sat down and I sit down and look over at Righty, and he's just chill. He's like,
right, you're here too.
I was like, what are you doing here? And he's gone. He's like, oh man, like, and I'm swearing. When he comes in here, I'm going to do this. And Righty just chill, taking his socks off, shower on. Like it does not like as in no care in the world, nonchalant, right? And then and I'm like. Yeah,
he is laid back in.
He is though. Yeah. He's chilled.
And he like, and then Mick, do you know? Bless him. Put Mick like, you know, and this isn't something I'm smashing the changing room. Like, Mick's just picking things up. Like, picking things up.
I got that. Don't worry.
He's fixing the massage table.
Mick is top man, isn't he?
And I'm just there. So sorry if he's listening.
No, he will be listening because I still have dialogue with him on Instagram. Always, if I post something, if I post any of the boys up, I always have something good to say.
He's a good lad.
Remind him of this time when this happened. I never do, but sorry, Mick, your message don't get across. But listen, when I look at those days, I remember that.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Ooh, that is harsh."
You know, it's painful for you. You know, you're feeling your pain.
Everyone actually remembers it too. I think.
I get asked about
I've
it all
been
the
there.
time.
It was at half time, not 20 minutes, but it's the same.
Same, mate.
The worst one was Belarus. Do you remember that one at Tottenham?
Yeah.
Got
Robbie
off.
King.
Am I saying this right? He came on, then came off.
I think he might have done. Yeah, we'll have to get it checked up.
Might have to check that.
But not only when he was on the pitch, it was chaos because Robbie Keane was peeling onto him, and Robbie Keane was great at one-on-ones, and he was dropping his shoulder.
I remember it being that bad that I'm sure he came on and come off.
Yeah, it could have been.
And back then
Robbie Keane was on fire.
Back then it was only three subs you could make.
Yeah.
Do you know what's bad? It's not like you got 5 now. 3 subs.
This is how good Robbie Keane was, mate. The week before, Buller had marked Ronaldinho out of the game.
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
So I remember he was on fire.
Yeah.
I'm sure he marked Ronaldinho, did like a man-to-man job on him or something, marked him out of the game.
Yeah.
And then Robbie Keane,
destroyed him.
Robbie Keane was good, mate.
Robbie Keane was
he was a top player.
Top player.
Great lad as well. Great.
I've got one of those stories, but I wasn't even playing. Imagine that. I was at Chelsea, obviously, Mourinho again.
You got took off the subs bench?
No, wait, it wasn't even like that. It was even worse. I didn't even travel. Yeah, do you remember this? So You lot, I think you.
I think I know what you're going to say. I think I know what you're going to say.
Lost up at Liverpool, I think.
Yeah.
And then I was like coming in for training the next day. Yeah. And I'm thinking, all right, cool. I'm going to go in, have a good day's training, and just go home. Yeah. And this is, I think must have been on a Sunday. So Saturday, there was a Champions League game coming up. So everyone had to be in on the Sunday anyway. So we had training. I can't remember what happened, but everyone, we used to go into the analyst room first before we used to go out and train.
Yeah.
So we go in, I was sitting at the front next to, I think, Makalele.
Yeah.
I think you was behind me and the other lads. Like, but I'm always out of the way. I don't want to be in the vision. Because I was thinking, these boys are going to get slaughtered. They've lost to Liverpool. I'm just going to be here. Because I didn't even travel. I didn't even go. Yeah. And I was like, okay. He walks in. And he just goes straight onto me. I'm in the corner of the room, by the way. I've got nothing to do with what happened up there. He goes...
Not guilty, Your Honour.
He goes, hey, Carlton, what's wrong with you, man? I've gone, eh? I'm looking around. You know what I'm doing? I'm thinking, all right. He goes, see, you're never going to make it to the top. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I think I am at the top right now. Then he goes, this is how I used to think in my head. I'm just throwing it. Then he goes, you're never going to make it to the top. You're going to be working for Tesco's or some sort.
Oh my God.
I was like, what? Where's this come from? I've got nothing to do with this.
I couldn't have been there because I would have remembered this.
Mate, I was like, why is he coming for me for? I haven't done anything. I wasn't even at the game. I was at home. Didn't take me.
In London, 300 miles.
Mate, I swear down, I was so angry, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, and he said more stuff, but it wasn't registering. It was just, I was like, nah, I'm raging. I'm thinking, why are you doing this?
I'm laughing now, but I wouldn't have been laughing at the time.
Because I wasn't even there, Bridgie. I weren't there.
Yeah.
So why am I getting it?
Yeah. It's funny when you say a story now, when you look back, but I wouldn't have laughed then. It's brutal, mate. It's brutal.
It's front of all my peers, all my pals. And they're looking at me thinking, where's that come from? Everyone was confused.
Yeah.
So anyway.
It was confusing.
Yeah. So anyway, I was so raging. Mate, I tell you what, went out to training. I was on flames. I was doing...
Did he say anything to you?
No.
He wouldn't though, would he?
He wouldn't need to because I just... I remember I put a few people on their backs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the best trainer.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's probably why he's done it.
Yeah.
Not thinking that... but that's the type of person you have. Everybody reacts different.
Yeah, everyone reacts
to certain things. So that's why I say football's a people's game. Like you're dealing with people, and if you can manipulate people's feelings to get the best out of them, then so be it. And whether it looks bad or harsh, I might still be able to get the best out of you because I know this is going to rock your boat.
Yeah,
you know. So that's why. Places like Manchester United. Places that are not really getting the best out of the team, the managers, they've got to do some psychological
warfare.
No, not warfare.
Games
on the players.
Yeah.
Because not everybody's the same. You can't treat everybody the same, and it's a people's game. So I really think there's a thing in that.
Yeah.
Where you can get the best out of someone when you don't think you can, but you just get that extra 10, 15%, and that might be enough for you to be playing better football,
mate.
You know.
I agree. I do remember that. Tottenham, Bridgie.
Yeah.
One of the headlines was Dr. Tottenham cures Everton, but Postecoglou desperately needs a tonic. I mean, it's creative. It's basically saying, if you need a win, go to White Hart Lane. Sorry, Tottenham fans.
What did they used to call it? What's the nickname over there again?
3 Point Lane.
A 3 Point Lane.
Yeah. That's great.
My mum is the only one of my family left in last man standing, and she picked Spurs.
Oh,
and I did think, what are you doing? I should have said something to her, to be honest.
Wendy's watched a lot of football as well.
I know, yeah. She's the only one still in it out of all of us. I was like, she went, I didn't know they were all. Are they away at home?
It was Everton.
It was at Everton, yeah.
The game, Bridgie.
She said, I didn't know they were away. I think that's what she said.
Wendy knows her stuff as well. I wouldn't mess with her. The game, the one thing you know, Bridgie, like when you play at Everton, whether they're a good Everton or a bad Everton, you've got to match them, haven't you?
Yeah, that's true.
And they didn't. And it was embarrassing, actually.
It reminds me... When you go there, like the Dell, fans just on you there,
yeah, right in your face,
right on you. Because I used to play then, obviously the crowd.
Have you been to the new stadium?
No.
What? Oh, no.
The new one, I've seen it.
White Hart Lane.
Yeah.
This was at Everton, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was
that was at Everton. Yeah.
But like, I remember going to Chelsea to Everton, mate. It's
Yeah.
Horrible.
I remember you would grind out a result. Didier had scoring at the end, or I remember Lamps getting one. It was just like you'd have to grind out a result.
It was always a
against
hard.
them, mate.
It was always a hard place to go.
Yeah.
And like they got a new manager in, and I think when a new manager comes in, the team most teams always a little bit of a
little bounce.
Definitely, especially with David Moyes, with that emotional connection. Just thinking, Postecoglou's clearly under pressure. 15th, 14th, 15th in the league. You know, I just think this is like the cycle. And I get a lot of stick from Spurs fans online. All my mates are Spurs fans, and we have a laugh and a joke, but I've been saying the same things for 15, 20 years. Like, there's a cycle. You know, Levy hires a manager, doesn't give him enough resources for what's required, sacks a manager when the fans turn, does the same. You know, ultimately, they're miles off where they need to go. And he runs it. If there was an award, a Ballon d'Or for footballing in business, Daniel Levy would be winning it every year like Lionel Messi. But Tottenham fans ain't interested in that. He'd be going there.
Racing tracks.
We've got racing tracks.
We've got all sorts.
I watched him.
You can. I think you could parachute off the roof.
We got Mariah Carey. I mean, Lionel Richie.
Beyonce. They're not interested.
They want to win football games.
They want cups. They want some trophies.
We ain't going nowhere though. We hear this all the time, don't we? We hear it all this every year. You hear it.
No chance. No chance.
But I must say, he runs a brilliant Premier League business.
Yes.
Like, for a club of that stature, the business part of it is unbelievable. Great training ground, great facilities, everything's there.
Yeah.
But it's just not winning anything. And I think the fans know what's happening as well. They're like, do you know what? They're not investing in our future to win anything They're doing all the other stuff around it. But the actual football club is second.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's where a lot of fans are really getting upset. I speak to Madge, because DJ Majestic, he's a massive Spurs fan. MC Kai, MC Kai as well. Errol, all of them Spurs fans, and they are fed up with it as well.
Yeah, mate.
And not just... It's not just them, it's a whole load of them that comes with it as well. And
Did you say Majestic's, is that the guy we met?
DJ Majestic.
You say he's a Tottenham fan?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was a West Ham fan. I'll keep going on to him about West Ham, I think. I'm sure I did when I met him.
Mate,
I'm a right
you're talking
idiot.
about
a lot of people.
No. You're talking about DJ Maximum.
Oh, Maximum, that's it.
I saw him at the game the other day, by the way. I saw him at the game. He said that you lot are proper, man. Loves you lot.
He's great, lad, Maximum.
We had a good night. We had a good night. Night, day, whatever it was.
It was good. It was good. It was all merged into one.
And Bridgie told me General Levy was in the house at one point, and I'm a big fan of the General.
Yeah.
And I was looking for him for 2 hours. He wasn't even there. He wasn't on the bill.
On the shoulder. I definitely want him.
So for those that don't know, us we have a little social once a month.
Try to do.
We try if we can get, because we're all busy, aren't we? And so we always try and have time for each other. And we invite a few other friends along as well, but. This particular night, I was going through some family problems, so the boys substituted for me when they went, and then they had a good time. And then
we didn't have a substitute.
We didn't.
I know, you just cracked on.
Carl was there,
Carl.
the Everton fan.
So that's what we do. So that's what we're talking about, just in case you lot don't know.
Yeah, they're like, get back to the football.
Yeah, back to the football. Okay, so we'll talk about Moyes, man. Moyes, listen, we talk about Postecoglou all day because I just think he's in the firing line to get all the stick. I don't think he's been supported properly by the board. I think he's a bit fed up because it's not that. Remember Ange when he first come?
Oh,
he was
no wrong.
Chirpy. And they went on a record.
It can turn just like that, can't it?
But they went on a record run of winning games, and it was the best thing. They was actually challenging for like Invincibles kind of thing.
It was like,
something like that.
How do we beat this new Tottenham?
So everyone was like buzzing for him, and then all of a sudden it's just turned on its head. They're 15th now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In the Premier League by Christmas, like, come on, it's better than that. And I just think Postecoglou needs a little bit more help.
He does,
and that's where you can see the frustration. When you see him in interviews now, he's like looking at the floor.
Yeah.
He's not making no eye contact.
Yeah.
He just wants to get out of there.
Yeah, man.
So
It's tough, innit? It's
And the
a
person like
stressful
that-
job I'll take my off to anyone who goes into it. I couldn't do it.
Spurs,
A lot of stress.
a lot of stress at Spurs.
Mate, but
Yeah, managerial jobs in any ways. It must be a lot of stress dealing with that many players.
I know.
All the fans, amazing.
I don't think that's the point. I think you need the
that's
support.
mental strength as well. By the way,
I think
mental strength
I think it's
managing
more than that,
Tottenham.
Bridgie. They want to do it, so it's all right. They want to do it. The problem is, if they're getting the support to do what they want to do and implement their style of play the way they want it, and having the players, you got to have the players to do what you want.
Yeah.
And if you're not getting backed by upstairs, then it's hard.
Yeah, any job you do, if you ain't got the tools to do it, then but you are the front man.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
I think he's been let
Tottenham.
down.
Right,
I think he's been let down myself. And also, we could talk about David Moyes' return
Yes.
because that's phenomenal.
Yeah. That result's fantastic, isn't it?
3-2, unbelievable for him, and he's gone there.
Just the fact they scored 3 goals, Coley.
Yes.
I have watched them 3 times
Calvert
this year.
Lewin.
I didn't think they had it in them.
Calvert-Lewin looking all right again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I knew, and I told you from the last pod that that's going to be David Moyes' go-to, because as long as he can stay fit, I think he keeps them up and they climb up.
That's true.
So this is what they needed, and the fans didn't really want to see it.
Yeah.
just yet, but I know it's the first
Well,
2
definitely a lot
games.
didn't. A few didn't. I don't know.
I think
I know Carl didn't.
Carl
want to.
didn't. Furious he was.
Well, you keep that message, and then later on in the season, you play that back to him. I bet something has changed.
Eat your words, innit?
I bet you something has changed.
Humble pie. Another big news in football this week is Haaland agreeing a 9.5-year contract. I love the fact that they put the half year in there. Do you know what I mean? Like 9.5 years.
Basically 10 years. Basically 10 years. It's basically 10 years.
There must be some serious insurance in place for any. Imagine if you have a nasty injury, like, do you know what I mean?
I don't know whose favour is it in. Listen,
It's Haaland, so it's mates. I look at it and I go, I'm not saying he's going to have a bad season or all of a sudden become rubbish, but it's the length of contracts are a madness. Like Chelsea, anyway, for some players. But obviously for him, he's top of his game. But I just always used to think, I guess he is one of the best in the world.
He is the best in the world.
You know, with football, I always think you play and you get a contract. And, you know, some people I hear say, oh, you know, you've made it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I never thought like that.
no.
I was always like, I've got a contract. I think, well, I need another one here.
Yeah, I need another one. I just
I need another one here.
Yeah.
I need another one here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was never ever relaxed with just that, because you think, you know, if you signed a 4-year, in 2 years you want to be trying another one. Or if
Yeah,
you
you
got
gotta-
you sign another one.
You never let it go
to
to 2 years, because
Yeah.
if the upstairs say there's 2 years left, they usually come to you and say, okay, we want you to sign a new one, especially depending on how old you are.
Yeah.
as well. But if you sign in a 10-year contract by 23, 24,
Mate.
like what else is there to do?
Yeah.
Like what? They can't get rid of you.
I think
Do you know what? It's not a bad thing, but you can imagine it's bad for certain people if the player ain't got that mentality.
They have to make an
Some
educated.
people,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
see some
yeah.
players that waste their talent. They get a contract,
Yeah.
think they made it, and
Yeah.
but
I'm just-
he ain't that player.
No.
Is he?
He still wants. He's got records to beat. He's got records to beat.
He's motivated by something
Motivated
that's
by
not money.
something else.
I remember a couple of players getting long-term contracts. When I went to Villa at the end of my career, and they'd put Nzogbi on a long-term contract, and he wasn't motivated by records and playing football. He looked like a player who was. Do you know what I mean? Just there is certain players you can't give it to, but I think with Haaland, I think it's a fantastic bit of business.
Where has that come from? The contracts.
I think it came from USA.
Yeah,
Is that where it's come from?
It's getting round financial fair play, so it's stretching the money out over the length
Period
of the
of time,
contract.
yeah.
So they do that, and they feel they secure the asset. But on the flip side of that is, on the flip side of securing the asset, is just every now and then you'll give someone a 6-7 year contract. Form will go, they won't be in the team, or they get injured.
Yeah, and then
you're stuck. And then what I think they're relying on is leveraging it on the players' mentality to want to get out and play. There'll be certain players,
That's where
particularly at
Chelsea
Chelsea,
a bit, right? Yeah.
they got players now who are on long-term
Long-term
contracts.
contracts.
They've pushed them to the side in the reserves, and they're like, right, we'll pay you your money because it's a contract, but how much do you want to play football? And then you get into this situations where you're playing cat and mouse, because I don't care who you are, you like your money, you have small period to earn it, but you do like to.
Yeah.
You like to. Everyone loves to play football.
You want to be the star man.
And you know, so I think these owners now are happy to take risks on players and putting them on long-term contracts because they're not worried about having to pay player A 10, 15 million pound out of the budget that they've already accounted for. But on the flip side of that, they don't, because they feel that I'm talking in riddles here. The value of the club, regardless, in the Premier League is going to double and treble in the next 10 years.
Yeah,
That's what it's. So, but who loses out on this? The players. There'll be players that lose out from playing football. They're not going to lose out financially, but they lose out from playing football. But that's the way. That's my understanding of it, Bridgie. But I might be wrong.
What you just explained that. So basically, they secure the player. They secure themselves, and you see, like even was it the PSR? Was the the PSP value, the fair play value thing? Yeah. I always say that. I always get that mixed up. I just think with that, see, like Man City, they're trying to protect themselves. They're protecting their assets.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because we don't know what these allegations. They've got some
they've got more coming
pending court cases at the moment.
Yeah.
Got more coming up. So probably they're just trying to secure their assets. And they've got to probably do a few more of those contracts, by the way. So that'll be the first one you need to secure, because that's your
guy,
your guy in it, and that's going to keep you in the Premier League. That's going to keep the value high for him as well. So you can get not rid of him, but you can sell him at a good price as well afterwards. So you've got to secure all these assets. So just in case they've got something in the background that they're scared of, so just get him done quickly. Then he'll follow. Then he'll follow. Then he'll follow.
Do you think you've been at Man City during the time? Was it just before they come in, or was they after? You signed for? They were there
when they got took over.
Yeah. What was? Did they ever speak to you, Bridgie? Was there ever like a meeting with the players going, "We're going to do this. We're going to go here"? Did you ever get, or were they just?
I met Sparky Hughesy.
Right. Okay.
Mark Hughes, and it was just he just had a chat with me basically about what he wanted and what he wanted to do, and I played with him at Southampton before,
right?
At the end of his career, so that was it. Is mainly the playing part,
right?
To be honest, and obviously it was the same as Chelsea. It was a start out, wasn't it? I knew what it was going to be like.
You're so interesting because you've had both. We come into Chelsea together at the start of Abramovich era, and you went to Man City at the start of that era.
So basically, you had Chelsea couldn't get Ashley, so they got me. And you got Ashley, so then City couldn't get Ashley, so they got me. Ashley, be on here next week. He's a guest or something.
He's on the list, Keith.
Is he on?
Yeah, he's on the list.
Plans for you.
Listen, we won't replace you with anyone, mate.
No, you are
not Sheikh Mansour or Roman Abramovich.
Irreplaceable. Beyonce.
Yeah.
Love more than money. And we love Ash as well, of course.
We love Ashley.
You got any great lad. You got any contract stories?
No. Only that, I just found it was harder to get contracts. I remember when the year I got Player of the Year at Chelsea, and I had 2 years left on my contract, and then the phone weren't ringing.
You know what they're waiting? They're waiting for you to have a bad year.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
they're waiting.
Yeah, that's conniving. That.
I'm like, do you know what I mean? So I just don't think. Yeah,
Roman liked you though.
Yeah, I got
Roman.
Yeah, Roman was listen. We.
I think you did.
My dealings with him were always good, always positive.
Well,
but contract stories, honestly, mate, it was just dealt with. I had a fantastic agent in my career, David Geiss, and he looked after me, and he looked after Michael Carrick as well, and he looked after Mark Noble, and he just sort of put you on the right. He was never any nonsense with him. It was just. This is what, and I was like, "This is
his trade."
I don't think it could have been any.
He's a professional.
Because you had your dad.
Chartered accountant.
You always had your dad with you, mate. There was never going to be any nonsense.
Exactly. My dad, another one. I had another accountant. So I had two accountants working for me, which is another smart move for young players doing that.
Yeah.
But lovely. I love him. Malcolm Webber. He's more than a family friend now. But my dad was like, when we first started to get money, signed my first contract. And, we come from, most footballers.
What was you on before, though? So you're going from...
45 quid a week.
Scholar
to £1,000 a week.
Cool.
Geez, I thought that I was Roman Abramovich. The way that I was moving around the estate was different.
Different, isn't it?
Different, mate. Oh, God. I moved...
What was that feeling like?
First purchase, a petrol scooter.
What?
Exactly. No, not even a sit-down one, right?
A petrol scooter? I didn't even make them back then.
gold. It was gold. Mate. Like,
I done my first car. No, my second car was gold. What was I thinking? What was I thinking?
Right, so we negotiate. We're in, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, what do you do with all this money? £1,000 a week, 4-year
from
contract.
where we're from as well.
I mean, people would be listeners, young listeners, go, mate. I don't know, like. It's not a lot of money. It was a lot of money back then. It was a lot of money for us. And I just remember sitting there and then they're talking about PEPs and ISAs and insurance, and we're going to do this, and the tax will go through there. And I'm just thinking gold scooters in my head. Like, and my dad's there, and my dad had a great way of sizing people up. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, listen, we really like what you're saying, and you can look after my son, and we want to do everything right and proper. And if any of you step out of line, I'll muller the lot of you.
Oh,
and he went,
what was threats?
Yeah. And he went, he loved it. And I went, okay, Mr. Cole, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Cole.
Yeah. And I went, all right, Dad. And he went, but that's it. Like, he just was like, yeah, that sounds all great, but just to let you know, this is coming. And
amazing.
And then got up, and anyway,
Just picture your mum behind him.
and my mum was just like, like in a professional, everyone's in suits,
I'll muller the lot of you.
and it worked. And listen, and Malcolm is still he's still in my life now. Looked after me.
He
looks after my kids. Like, he looks after my kids' estate. Like, everything that I've done right has been through Dave and Malcolm. I was very, very, very lucky.
Yeah, I'd say so as well. My first contract, blimey, I was I was a little bit later than you lot. I think the national wage went up to £75 for a scholar. I think that's what.
Yeah, that's a big jump in 2 years. Yeah, that's inflation.
Double.
Yeah, that's double, mate.
I think you was on.
It was hard to get by on 45 quid a week, mate.
Mate, I think safeguarding came in with that. So you lot were on slavery.
It's pop noodles, mate. That's what it was.
You was on slavery money, I think. You lot are doing too much and you weren't getting paid enough. So I think we actually.
To be fair, though, I think going through. Did you still have to do all the jobs?
Yeah.
I've
done it for a year. Yeah. I've done it for a year. Just cleaning boots, cleaning the toilets, cleaning.
And if anything wasn't done properly, you all got punished.
Yeah, you all got punished as a group.
Yeah, you'll be running.
Yeah, I know.
Have to be the last off the coach to take the skips in off a like under 21 game. Reserves, whatever it is.
Yeah, they were horrible times, but good times.
Good times, man.
When you were running,
it was always the last home. You had to make sure the skips were packed as well to make sure you got everything what the medical team needs and everything. So it was a great eye opener, and it makes you appreciate. But it was easy for us to do that because I was to do it at home for my mum. Like my mum used to do the housework and all that, so it wasn't really a big thing. I was just getting paid to do it now.
Yeah,
it's the lazy ones. You'd always get criticised.
And I'm playing football for a living. Like I'm getting paid to play football. I was so buzzing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I didn't look at it like that, but other people started to look at it and think, nah, that's not right. That's why it stopped after our group, our year.
Yeah.
I think it's character building, man. Like I don't understand why they do that. I think it actually there's two things it does. Build you up as a person, and it teaches you respect, and there's a hierarchy.
Responsibility.
And there's a hierarchy.
Which there is in life.
There should be. It should be like that because you should be able to work for everything you got and then know that you're climbing up the pyramid.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's another thing that it does. It makes you appreciate others and that you're working in a team as well. So I can't let you down because you got to make sure you do that job. And then if you're not doing it, I've got to come and tell you, Bridgie, man, you're not pulling your weight around. I don't want to be staying there until 6 o'clock. I want to be leaving by 4. Do you know what I mean?
And you did have them conversations.
Yeah, you do. It's a serious conversation.
You're like,
things to do, bro.
Someone would be like, Coley, why haven't you done your job? Like, I need to go now. And
I just remember they used to check everything, like tops of doors with a finger dust.
Yeah.
Like, you go around with a finger like that. Dusty, you're running. We'd be like,
Dusty doors.
At the early stages, that's what, mate. They check everything, skirting boards.
I think I remember running in the dark in around the pitches in the dark.
Someone was always sick. In the winter. That much, someone was always sick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not really. I know people listen to this might think that's a bit strong, but good life lessons. Like you said, you're learning responsibilities. You're learning where the hierarchy. And listen, and you're going to go. We're not all going to make it as footballers. No. And you're going to have to earn a living for your family.
I think it was a
life skills.
Life skills.
A respect thing, I think, as well. Was it discipline, respect? So obviously, being at City, we were talking about trips earlier. He was coming through the City ranks. There was a lot of money. They're getting paid a lot of money then. He was a great lad.
Yeah.
Like, had his head screwed on and everything. There's some lads where You know, they get to a certain stage and you think, mate, you got to work harder.
Yeah.
I mean, he was good.
I need respond.
Yeah. He was.
And that's
good.
why
He was
he's
good
had the career he's had.
Yeah, but definitely.
Like, you know, been
100%.
playing England player, you know, top player. Listen, January. Ultimately, there's going to be moves. I'm really excited about this one, and it's like I don't know how City are going to do it or finance it or where they're going to find the cash. But Marmoush to City, he's scored 15 goals so far this season in the German Bundesliga, which is just to give it context for people listening if they don't know. It's level with Harry Kane, you know, and he's not playing for Bayern Munich. You know, he's playing for Eintracht Frankfurt, which is a big club, but not, you know, traditionally. He's got great movement. He's aggressive. He scores goals. He's 25 years of age. I'm imagining they're going to maybe change the system to play him with Haaland in some way, because you're not going to spend that type of money and not have a plan for him. And you've given Haaland a 9-year contract. So this is big news.
Yeah.
This is big news.
I look at it and
that
think,
contract and that.
Yeah.
oh yeah. So you got to look at. That's what I'm trying to say about strikers. It's just a commodity right now. You need to just, if you get a good one, you got to tie it down.
Yeah.
Imagine both of them playing.
Oh mate. And the because the defenders, they're not going to be able to handle it now. Because I don't think the defenders defend like how they used to back in the day. So if you've got two outright goal scorers, the game's changed. That's what I'm saying. So you're more inclined to think about defending the wingers.
Yeah.
The wingers cut inside, or they don't. As I said, they weren't going on the outside.
Two decent wingers getting the ball into them.
Oh mate, they're going to be unbelievable. So that's a good move. I think if that does come off, Harry Kane is no mug, and if you're sharing the top leader scorer, the pedestal with him, then you're flying.
Exciting times for Man City, and they do need some good news at the moment.
They do.
They do need some good news. And listen, the Saudi League is not letting up as well. Al Hilal, you know, they're courting Salah. They are
courting. They're desperate for him, aren't they?
There's some extreme flirting with Salah.
Everything mirrors up for him to go there.
Yeah. And Rodrigo at Real Madrid, who I think's hard done by, Bridgie. Rodrigo, you know, he won Champions League, him, Vinicius and Bellingham in that sort of front three, and then Mbappe comes in. He's the full guy, and he's such a good player. You know, too young. I think he's too young to be thinking about that move. Salah, on the other hand, I think it all just makes sense, doesn't it? He's going to go there.
Well, that's the thing with the.
It does, but how do they replace him, mate?
Yeah,
Liverpool.
Yeah.
You can't unless Rodrigo goes to Liverpool.
There you go.
I'd take.
There you go. He said it here first.
Agent Cole. He's put that out there into the ether. Now that's going to happen.
It might happen.
It'd be great for the Saudi League if they both went there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's one of them. It hasn't really worked for Neymar out there, has it? Injuries.
Well, that's what the Saudi League is trying to do. Like they're trying to get young players, not just players' names. They're trying to get young, up and coming players, and they're trying to divert the attention. Say, okay, it's not just about the Premier League anymore. It's not just about the Bundesliga. It's not about
somewhere, innit?
It's not just about the Liga. We're serious about this game too. So we're going to get the best young players to come and play for us.
Yeah.
And eventually, it's that. I think where they're trying to get to, where it's not just going to be just about money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's going to be about, okay, they're actually competing now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So look, I've fair play to them. They're doing really well over there. Al Hilal obviously eyeing up the Salah move, but I don't think Salah's going to go. I think he's going to.
You think he wants to hunt them records down?
I think he wants them records, man.
Yeah.
And why would you get this far and then not try and get the records?
Yeah.
And I think because of the form he's in now, I think he gets this money in 2 years' time anyway. Do you know what I mean?
He's not letting up, is he?
He's not letting up.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to shift and go into another. He'll still score goals, but I just think he's got so much to do still at Liverpool. He wins the league this year. Maybe he might say, that's enough for me. It's a good time to go out on a high. He might say that if they do win the league. But I just don't see it. I can't see it. I think he's settled there.
Yeah.
I see him in his family celebrating Christmas.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And you know he's Muslim. So he's actually got the culture.
Yeah.
And he's actually integrated in the way of how the Brits think at the moment.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to take a lot for him to go over there.
Yeah.
But the lot is the money.
Yeah. What do you make of the Saudi League, Bridgie? Like, you know, have you been out there at all? Have you? I'm looking forward to going. I want to see it. You hear?
I'm looking forward to going. It's hard, isn't it? Like I see Jordan Henderson when he went out there.
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone. Money obviously does play a part in it.
Yeah, of course.
but also you can see it as you can see it as a challenge as well, something new, depending on how your football's going in.
Yeah,
that's true.
But if they're attracting some of the best young players,
That's a statement.
It's a massive statement because if they can attract more and then more and then more. But will it happen? I don't. It might do, mate.
It might do.
It might do.
And I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to change the face of the game.
Yeah. Sometimes I think the only thing with Jordan Henderson, thought, mate, you should have just said like, the money's good as well. Do you know what I mean? Because it is good. It is good. It does. It will play a part on some people's decisions. I feel it does. And you don't. And we're all different, aren't we? People make it for different reasons. So you just don't know. But it's exciting if they do get. It's exciting for them. Yeah. Brilliant. It'd be brilliant for them if they get all their names. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And look. We'll talk about Neymar. We'll talk about Neymar.
Bring the podcast out there.
We'll talk about Neymar and him going to Miami.
There was
there
rumours about it. You know, he's clearly not right for him.
What to go and
bring it like one of them Suarez, Messi, Neymar rebrand.
Barcelona days.
Yeah. 2.0, like one of them old boy bands that come back together. Like
I was so disappointed when that broke up. That trio, that was amazing back then.
That was a beautiful
Messi,
trio.
Neymar, and Suarez. Like that was.
I think that's not the best Barcelona. I still think Eto'o, Ronaldinho, Messi.
Ronaldinho and Eto'o.
Were the ones that we played. Was slightly better than them, but there ain't much in it.
Yeah, that was powerful. That was.
Yeah.
But imagine that Neymar goes to Miami. Yeah. And that's not far off.
I'm thinking fireworks on the pitch and off the pitch. In Miami. Imagine him. Mate, that's you've got to consider that. Samba moves. Imagine him. Little pair of Speedos on down the beach. He'd be loving life, wouldn't he?
Yeah, they would be loving it.
He's a great player to watch, though, regardless.
He is a great player.
I think that's a good place to end it, lads. So thanks for tuning into the dressing room with Al Arabiya News. Catch you next week.